I have the Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources in the studio, and Kwabena Kando is here. He's a member of Parliament for Dwaboso. Thanks for joining me, sir.
You're welcome.
All right. Let's start with this very issue. It's about the GNPC hiding something in Chachu's Ex-Gratia, and that's according to Vitus Azim. But we know that this is what it is. The GNPC apparently paid what they say is Ex-Gratia to a former chief executive of the company and other management staff because they had not been paid that until their subsequent dismissal. And already we have anti-corruption campaigners, and the lead one, Vitus Azim, saying that the GNPC needs to be bold and confirm the amount it paid to Tsikata and 3 others as Ex-Gratia, and also a former deputy minister of energy, K.T Hammond, who is also a member of parliament for Asokwa, saying that he smells a lot of mischief in all this. He feels that the money shouldn't have been paid to the said individuals. What's your take on this story that has been brewing over the last 12 hours?
Yeah, thank you, Roland. Let me say good morning to viewers. And I personally don't get a point in what they are saying. Is it the case that I don't get any point in it? Is it a case that, look, somebody is stealing some money, or it's some money that somebody deserves and is being paid? Is it true that it's Ex-Gratia? Is it true that Chachu worked with the GNPC? And in 2002, those who were declared redundant were given some amount of money? Is it true? Why then Chachu and the other 3 were not given those monies? You understand? So, is it true that some people in this country deserve Ex-Gratia and others do not? Is it because it is Chachu? What is the point in it? What is it? K.T Hammond, who is shouting on top of his voice, and a member of parliament as I am, he gets Ex-Gratia at the end of every term.
But he has concerns, and we'll let you have a lot more say on this very subject. Let's now watch K.T Hammond. He was a former deputy energy minister and also currently a member of parliament for Asokwa. Let's watch him.
I think it's not only unwarranted. I think it's criminal, it's unethical, and it has to be investigated. You know, I'm struggling for words. I have explained the basis on which I predicate my statement that this payment should be investigated by, indeed, both Parliament and, of course, the presidency. My view is that these set of individuals, of course, headed by Mr. Tsikata, did nothing for the state to compensate them. That is not even so belated, because the belatedness of it is another matter. But you know, Mr. Tsikata and those other people were removed by Mr. Rollins. Mr. Rollins, of all people, who had everything to do with Mr. Tsikata, found it going pretty awful, to the extent that he himself saw the need to remove Mr. Tsikata.
GNPC has reacted. The GNPC thinks that they merit the Ex-Gratia. They call it an Ex-Gratia. You don't think so?
Anger. It's making a lot of people a lot angry. I mean, I've given you the background. I mean, if you just oppose what I've given you to this statement, don't you think it's sickening? What is the that justifies the payment of the monies that I have indicated? This is the man who presided over this. He must have been given his entitlement. Mr. Rollins removed him from there, took him to whatever, to Ministry of whatever, all of it before we took over. So how come that 15 years down the line, we're talking about 2015, November 2015 years down the line, and somebody sits out there and says that was justified. Indeed, my understanding is that the board of its own volition decided that these people were worthy of these gargantuan monies, and that should be paid to them, irrespective of a claim or not. And so they doled out that much money to these specific individuals. I'm asking the president, arrest all of them, dissolve the board immediately, and then we'll take it from. The money is not theirs by entitlement. It's not theirs by right. It belongs to the people of Ghana. They should put the money back. The money will be recouped, and then the consequences we will visit thereafter. But immediately, the board which took the decision, whether it is the old board or the new board, if the old board is already dissolved, if it is a new board, it should be dissolved immediately.
K.T Hammond, a former Deputy Minister of Energy. And
what did he say?
Well, he said a lot of things. For example, he is alleging that even before they came into office, Mr. Tsikata had ceased to be chief executive of GMPC.
What is it? You see, the facts are clear. Roland, don't let us deceive ourselves. It's not true that Tsikata was working for GMPC before they came to office. In 2002, when they came, they declared some people redundant in the company. Is it not true that those people were paid a certain amount of money? If he is alleging today that he doesn't deserve the money he's paid for, he's been paid, then he must come and prove. How much was he given? The formula is clear for everybody to know. Ex-Gratia, the formula is clear. 3 months salary times the number of years you've worked for. Unless he comes back to tell me that Tsikata never worked for the GMPC, or when he's during the Kufuor's administration, he was paid his ex-gratia, and that he has come back to take.
So your argument is because they were dismissed, and so they deserve.
Exactly, that is the point.
So the company voluntarily dismissed them.
Exactly, that is the point.
And so they deserve their ex-gratia. Well, why did he have to take your administration in its second term before such a decision?
That is no issue at all. Whether our administration or whichever administration, the fact of the matter is that if the person is due that money, he must be paid, irrespective of the administration.
Is there not abuse of office? For example, if the board of GMPC decides that officials who the company had dismissed in itself now would have to be paid?
If there was anything like abuse of office, then it was the Kufuor's administration. Why could you pay some people and you leave out others? And you will not pay them. Why? Now, in this country, in this country, you see, the country is, I agree with him, the country is for all of us. He who is talking, K.T Hammond, has received not less than, on 2 occasions, has received ex-gratia. When Bawumia was leaving Bank of Ghana, was he not given ex-gratia?
It's not the same, is it?
Why is it not the same?
K.T Hammond, for all the terms that he served, has served as a member of parliament who concluded his terms. And by what the structures are, based on Article 71 of his holder, so he's entitled to it. Just like the way you will be entitled at the end of the term.
If that is the post you are shifting, what about Azeko say?
It's a question I'm posing. It's not as if I have a certain position.
No problem. Azeko say also left Cocoa Board, he was given. Bawumia left Bank of Ghana, he was given. Rokubobe left, he was also given. Are they more Ghanaians than Tsikata? Are they more Ghanaians? If you think that, look, the man has been given more than he deserves, bring out the figures, or somebody can go to court. So it's not a matter of, for me, what I see from K.T Hammond's point of view is a mere, diversion.
What do you mean by diversion?
You see, he must better come out to explain to Ghanaians how he sold the dress ship. That is the explanation we need from him.
Well, that was a subject of discussions and investigations
so we need
by the Judgment Debts Commission, for which a report has come out, and a white paper has also been issued by the presidency.
Exactly. So he must proceed on that line.
He's contesting that, don't you?
Yes, so he must proceed on that line. If he's contesting that, he must concentrate on it and clear himself.
But is it a period of equalization now?
Why equalization?
Because issues have been raised against him. We shouldn't raise issues.
If anybody is equalizing,
particularly he has concerns about
Roland, if anybody is equalizing, if there's anything like that,
former management staff.
Roland, will you listen to me? If there's anything like equalization, then it is K.T Hammond who wants equalization, because he thinks that, he has an issue to clear. He will also go and allege issues against Tsikata. If there's anything like equalization, we are not equalizing. He is doing so. You understand?
The NDC administration, is it the view within the administration that Tsikata and the rest of the management staff who were not paid these set sums or the ex-gratia were dismissed arbitrarily? Is that it?
You see, if we have to go into the merits of how they were even dismissed,
that's another issue.
That's another issue altogether. So if anybody
that's why I'm asking you this question: is it the position of government or the NDC, let's say, that the way they were dismissed was arbitrary?
I wouldn't say it is a position of the government or it is a position of the party, but in my humble opinion, this kind of politics must stop. That we come to power, if for nothing at all, this man has been an asset to this country. If for nothing at all, he contributed immensely to the discovery of oil in this country. GMPC, I can say on authority that Look,
so this is gratuity for service done.
I am not saying gratuity. It is the money he deserves, and it's not only Tsikata and 3 others. They deserve the money. The MPP government came and they paid others. They paid. Don't forget that point. They paid others. They gave copious sums of money to people on the same basis. Why did they refuse them? Why? And so today, if a board has come, a government is a government, irrespective of which political party is in power. A board is a board, irrespective of who is the chairman of the board. So what it means is that the board has taken a decision.
K.T Hammond is saying that the president needs to act because the board was not circumspect in taking the decision they did. He also says that the board needs to be dismissed.
For me, I think that he must raise more. I want to be very careful about my choice of words, but you see, I think he must raise more
important issues.
Well, that is your word. More if you think that those
okay,
are
then
not
I withdraw my word. Use your word.
Those are not important issues. He must raise more important issues so that we can all, deliberate on those issues, and then as a country we move forward. But mere shouting on top of your voice, for me, whatever he said, there's nothing I can take out of it. Absolutely nothing. What did he say? That the government or the president should dissolve the board. On what basis? Because the board has paid somebody an amount he deserves, that the president must dissolve that board. So I think that he must come clear. And for me, in my humble opinion, he's my senior. He deserves to be my father. But I think that he has an issue to clear. That is what Ghanaians want to hear him talking about.
Okay,
not this particular.
Now we have Vitus Azim, and we know he's an anti-corruption campaigner because he is saying that, well, if they find it necessary to react, they should finally disclose what is behind the whole issue. Under what circumstances were they removed? And were they sacked? Did they have anything to do with their end of service benefit? If it has, did they petition? Did they go to court? Why did the board all of a sudden decide to pay them these money? I think these are legitimate questions.
If there's an issue and I decide not to go to court, and there is a particular group of people and I decide to raise my issues with them and they decide to resolve it for me, you think that it is not legitimate? And again, on the issue of the amount, the formula I've indicated is clear. It is 3 months salary multiplied by the number of years you worked with the company.
Well, you're a deputy minister for lands and
natural resources.
Natural resources. You've become a labor consultant all of a sudden. You're calculating people's Ex-Gratia. But we're taking a break. When we come back, we'll be joined by Seth Kwame Champo, and my good friend who is a member of parliament for Emprise will be here, and we'll also be adding a lot more voice to the discussion we're having. Do stay on. We'll be right back.